we need to begin targeting surpluses so we can pay down the debt rather than just continue to increase it. That would be my plan.
What would you do with the poors, Rodrigue?
The poors need to be addressed this way. So if there's any poors here, the free ride is over. You no longer get to leech off of this system that has been created to give you all of the opportunities that you're too lazy or incompetent to take advantage of. And the poor need to pay their fair share. We need people with bumper stickers and T-shirts that say "Eat the poor." We need to start telling the poor that they need to pull their fucking weight. We need to stop with this lie that the rich are the problem in this country, and we need to acknowledge the fact that the rich pay the majority of the taxes, and we can no longer allow the poor people to not pay their fair share. And if we institute a federal sales tax, eliminate the income tax, the Social Security tax, the Medicare tax, what we will effectively do is create the conditions in which the poor people can no longer hide. They will have to get jobs because if they want to consume things, they will then pay a federal sales tax on it. That's my solution.
Roger, I like your plan. I think that to take the people off the drug dependency is going to be very unique. Both of the things you said, Medicaid and Social Security, and the drug of SNAP, and all these things, they do need to replace because you cannot run a country based on programs. People supposed to be working. Programs do not work. People supposed to be working. Unfortunately, our country, since the Great New Deal, Mr. Lyndon B. Johnson, and the role of the family, it's just all gone downhill right now. We have too many programs. I agree with you. Let's eliminate the program. Tell people to go back to work. Do what they got to do to take care of their family. Make better choices individually. That's all I'm worried about for the next 35 years.
You'll never win an election doing that. You just won't. You have, like that, it's all great, these ideas, and everybody can say, oh, we could just worry about the debt, just worry about the debt. That's not what government is. That's what economics is. That's what accounting is. That's what a CPA fucking does. But governing, you have the people back, and you have to somehow figure out how to implement a drastic economic program that you're asking to take away some. FDR got his program passed through because a lot of bullshit, but he was giving out cookies. He was literally giving out fucking money right, left, center. It didn't matter to who. You are now asking for the American people who have had, I don't know, 100 years of cookies and saying, hey, I'm going to give you this leaf of lettuce and pat you on the ass and say you out there in the world, and now you're responsible. You got to figure out the human element. You got to figure out the governance. Otherwise, that plan, all that talk is just BS. How do you implement the government policies that would help increase? You're going to have Kitover over here screaming about trillions of dollars and manifest economics. It don't mean shit. No one's going to listen to it because $1 trillion is not something people can realize in their hands, especially when they're at a grocery store.
Hey, Brad, so I can't blame the white man. I mean, come on, Brad. You're taking that away from me, man. I got to fight for the white man.
I got a question. I'll just call on somebody randomly. Double, would you like to answer my question? Double? Are you there? Oh, he's afraid. We'll go to Necro.
I gotta get to my what do you need?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, and you gotta be quick with it, okay?
All right.
How many zeros is in a trillion?
12.
Great. I want people to now write that down. Actually, write down the number 3, followed by the number 7, and then add 12 zeros. I want you to look at that number, and I want you to think about that. Now, just meditate, staring at the number that you wrote on the piece of paper. That is 3, 7, plus 12 zeros. Go ahead and...
They got dodged.
Can we please not have a day 3 of Necro dragging me? Like, I mean, protect Necro at all costs. What is happening?
No, he's just an idiot kid who, like, believes Mondami's going to be the savior of the country. Yeah, that's what I believe. to spend more money than he's going to blow through. If you're worried about the death there, take a look at New York City's money. He went through that in fucking a month. He'll be gone.
You know, Roger, I heard that they're trying to change the age of consent in New York to 9 years old by 2027 if that man wins.
Yeah. It's for It'll be the Democratic nominee. I don't think he'll win because even though all the young people are voting for him right now, I think the city of New York, I think some of the Democrats will wake up.
Who wants to take me up with the offer that the AOC will be a Democrat nominee? Anybody? Anyone?
Democrat nominee for what?
In 2028, without a shadow of a doubt.
For what? Her own seat?
President.
No, y'all need to first of all, okay.
If the Democrat Party
Let me just say something. Let me just say something.
All right,
It has nothing. It more mayor. But aside from that, listen, y'all keep saying this nonsense about Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is facing 2 recalls. So if Gavin Newsom is not able to successfully compete in the state of California, what makes you think that he's going to gain electoral votes across the rest of the country?
he's not.
Thank you. So again, so let's just put that to bed. If the Democrats are going to run anybody, I'm telling you at this point, they're not going to come from New York. They're not going to come from Los Angeles. Okay, they're going to come from Middle America because that's, truthfully speaking, the only bastion of the Democratic Party that still exists that is somewhat still sane.
But Democrats live.
So wait a minute. So right now, who hasn't worked as a president or Newsom, Pritzker, AOC has one, Shapiro has one, and Gretchen Whitmer has one. They're all collecting and fundraising for all of those presidents. Whether it's Meg Kamala, like, don't forget her hat in the ring too. So there's
Who's going to endorse them?
and it doesn't matter. They're throwing their hats in the ring. It doesn't matter if they think they're going to win or not. They're the ones throwing their hats in the ring. So that's who's on the list so far.
Kamala did.
Yeah, Kamala's still got that war chest going. And she's still
I don't think Beyonce has forgiven Gavin Newsom for putting her Malibu house in danger. So like I said, who's going to endorse these people, Brad? Like, people need to stop living in this like echo chamber of like what they think the rest of the world is going. Gavin Newsom has problems in California, Brad. Gavin Newsom has problems in California.
That doesn't matter to fuck up.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Don't
Hillary Clinton would have a better shot at this point than Gavin Newsom.
Don't be so sure.
Hey, if they're gonna, A, there's no president of the country. B, the same people who endorse AOC, relatively speaking, the same people that endorsed Trump, which was nobody. And he became president twice, elected.
Yeah. And how many people up here actually know Gavin Newsom? How many of you know him?
I met him once. He's a tool and he smells like ass. It's overpowered with long.
Okay. Anyone else in the room know about this particular governor or podcaster in California?
Oh, the fact that he's an elite, a hair gel demon that makes it the majority of his money sitting on the lap of getting oil.
Yeah, but see, this is the part now that most people don't know.
They don't live here.
I know, but not only that, most people do not know their own state government. They don't know local. Guys, this is the challenge in the United States. It's a very, very big challenge. We have 50 independent states, guys. Okay? We do have people who run at the top of these tickets, like you said, Brad, which I do agree. All these war chests that these people have, at the same time, they have to get the consensus of the other 49 states. It's very hard. And I think that's one of the things that.
Edward, would you consider Indiana Middle America?
Today? Yeah, I would say
Okay.
it is.
So, shout out to Pete Buttigieg. So, when people say that they don't have anybody in the Democratic Party in Middle America, shout out to Pete. So, again, I feel like they would have more success running. I feel like they would have more success running Pete Buttigieg as opposed to somebody like Gavin Newsom.
I would agree with you only because of the fact that most Americans today are not politically astute. Okay? So if you look at the I don't think most people watching the map. I mean, you got to look at the map, and that's why the people from Texas who did not want redistricting to happen don't understand the game now. It's changing rapidly.
But let's not forget that Texas gave us Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, exactly. And she lose her seat together.
So I'm gonna tell you something else. Newsom's already, he's got, like, if someone like Newsom runs, he's got California. That's going to depth. That's going to stay blue. Illinois, New York, those are all going to be blue. He has to win back the blue wall and has to figure out how to flip Pennsylvania. Shapiro needs a force to be reckoned. Another one. So the people sitting there sleeping saying, oh, Newsom, he's got problems in California. I agree with you. He does a shit job over there. But that's not to the national average. And again, the presidency is about showmanship. It's obvious.
Brad, do you understand that Trump lost California in this last race by less than 100,000 votes? Like you didn't see the auditing that they did on the California election, and they gave 3 million. That's 3 million.
3.1
Exactly.
voters.
Exactly.
So again,
Brad, they're selling MAGA hats on Hollywood Boulevard.
that's great. That's fine and good. They're going. California's gerrymandered. They're all the electoral votes are going to the Democrats. It doesn't matter. Trump can run. You can throw whoever you want. You can throw Reagan back up there and see. He's not going to win on this cycle. So what's going to happen is Newsom's going to be a prominent player and a bigger voice in that area. When he throws his hat in the arena, you can dogpile all you want to. The Dems are going to rally behind him, and what you got to focus on is Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. You got to maintain to shore up Georgia. You've got to worry about Vermont and I guess New Jersey a little. Like Carolinas are going to be a prominent player in this next election cycle. Like Newsom, you guys are only focused on what he's doing in your backyard. Trump had no experience and decimated 16 proactive politicians. Newsom's going around the podcast. He's going around from city to city, town to town, talking with people, gaining that war chest. You guys are just worried about what Newsom's doing in the backyard. You don't fucking care about California. What he cares about is the national table. And he's going to be a force, whether you like it or not.
Don't forget that California is a border state. Healthcare to these immigrants. So, I mean, again, we're not just worried about what's happening in our backyard. Any of the Republicans, I feel like AJ and I definitely have more of a thick skin in terms of the rest of you guys that are of the same ilk that live in other places, because we really have the worst out here. But when it comes down to it, Gavin Newsom didn't just affect our backyard. Gavin Newsom affected national security, and he also gave those same people benefits that people are not about today.
So that has a lot to do with national table. It won't matter what you think in your backyard. No one gives a fuck about what goes on in California. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't fucking care. Nor does 99% of the country. They're not going to be worried about it.
Brad.
Why are we the most populous state?
Real quick, Brad. What they do care about, though, is they don't want the rest of the country to be California.
Exactly.
So I'm going to say this before the rest of them go up. No one gives a fuck about your local politics in California. They don't want to be like California, but you're talking about rallying cry. Oh, I gave free healthcare. The Democrats are going to use that as a country. They have a winning message when it comes to free healthcare. The Republican Party doesn't have an answer. It absolutely does not have a strong message. And that sure as hell isn't going to be prompted up by the J.D. Vance or whoever's going to throw their hat in the ring right now, which is still unknown. You don't have a Republican that is rising through the ether after Trump to be able to take a populist message and bend it to a Republican or conservative brand. So right now, Newsom is probably the front runner I would pick today. At this current juncture, Newsom is leading everywhere you get because Trump can't run again. So you don't have anybody else to counter him.
Buttigieg.
He's not even going to get out of the primary.
If he has a better track record with the rest of Middle America than Gavin Newsom.
Oh, he's not even winning.
Dark horse, ready? Mark Cuban.
Again, not running.
He was endorsing Harris the way it was to get in the cabinet position. They had the SBA. So he is about being in politics. I don't know if he'll make a jump to the presidency, but it surprised me.
Colbert. He's looking
looking for a job. Sure.
Is this Ty?
It's the economy, right? And Brad, I hear everything you're talking about. At the same time, I think the blue wall did not like the fact that the economy under the last Democratic administration was the way it was. And I don't think the people in California, because we flipped 8 of 10 seats, and I think the next round, 2026 and 2028, we're going to flip a whole lot more seats. You can say you don't care about local politics in California, but most of America does. Then I will say to you that the blue wall is not going to flip back the same way everybody thinks it is. The Democrats right now are bleeding hugely. And you think that just because they got a slick hair podcasting guy, got a big war chest, is going to win back, 80 to, how many people voted for Kamala?
Ever heard of a creature that smells like popcorn? No, really. This is the binturone, and chances are you've never seen one. These mysterious animals live in the lush forests of Southeast Asia and belong to the Vivaridae family, kind of like distant cousins of celids and genets. They might remind you of a raccoon, but here's the twist. Their tail acts like a fifth limb. Yup, they can literally hang from trees using just their tail. Only 2 carnivores in the world can do that, and the binturong is one of them. Their bodies can reach up to 90 centimeters, and half of that length is just tail. With big dark brown fur and fluffy white tipped ears, they've got a seriously unique look. They're omnivores, munching on everything from fruit to birds and rodents.
All parties please don't scroll. I'm just gonna click it. So I just, I encourage y'all to really take a look at that, because I feel like he's gonna be a bigger player this next election cycle than people are willing to admit.
Wait, it's not a money generator. That's where you guys lose it on the side.
Neither was Kamala. Neither was Kamala.
Actually, Kamala was a money generator. Yes, she was.
Yeah, but Kamala in
Myself
the
is what
she
realized. Kamala broke in terms of fundraising events. Like, her dollar amounts were obscene for the few months she was running. You actually had access to Biden's war chest. So she got all that influx of cash, and then she raised fucking significant numbers down there. Like, that was fucking impressive for a short time frame. I don't like Kamala. I think she's a cum stain on fucking the United States. However, her political operations, fundraising generation, that's fucking massive. Buttigieg doesn't have that.
Because she was a door marked exit, the same way that Buttigieg was. Let's go back to what Kamala actually raised in 2020.
What she raised running post Joe Biden was fucking phenomenal.
Because she was artificially inserted, Brad. That's the part that you're not understanding.
Yeah, Brad, I normally would agree with you, but Kamala did raise the money you think she did. That was the machine. It was not the woman. It's a major difference, man. Listen, seriously, Brad, what we got to do is to make sure that, and I don't disagree, I think Newsom could raise money, and he's doing it. At the same time, I don't think that his message will nationally go by, even among Democrats. I think Democrats have been disillusioned. They've been bamboozled because they've been told so many lies that I think that it's coming to roost, man. I'm telling you, it's coming to roost.
This is how we lose the market. Like, all this, like, pro-MAGA, like, you're just as bad as the Dems right now. They're like the libtards. You guys are really just as bad. You're shitting on things that you don't see or think that, oh, it's my feelings. And you're doing exactly what the progressives and the retards actually, do. Again, Buttigieg is not a dominant player. He's not a fundraising juggernaut. He proved that under.
Neither was Kamala. That's the point.
Dude, shut the fuck up for a minute. Stop coming off mic every time someone talks. Fuck. Again, Kamala raised a lot more fucking money than the entire Democrat Party that was running when Joe Biden was in. She was top of the fucking ticket. She gets that cause. Again, you guys don't recognize the danger. So all that Republicanism, all that conservatism, all that MAGA bullshit is going to go out the fucking door if you don't fucking actually quickly grasp that there's more to governance than just bitching about the libs. Secondly, the Smith-Newsom, to dismiss Kamala, to dismiss the Democrats before fucking even the campaign's taken off, and you're watching their numbers and their optics and their polling rise significantly, and there is not an heir apparent to replace Trump. And don't give me J.D. Vance, because his numbers and his fundraising war chest ain't doing all that fucking great right now.
Brian is cooking. Like I don't know. You doing great. I never agreed with this long.
This reminds me of the COVID days. This is very anti-science.
What I don't understand is why do people even use this artificial term MAGA, Make America Great Again, to describe these red hat, Trump fanatics? Like that is basically a meaningless thing. It's a Republican Party, and people who scream, MAGA, I just don't understand what that means. Whether it's a liberal screaming MAGA or a Republican screaming MAGA or an independent or whoever. To me, people that use this term MAGA over and over again in their communication is someone who just is trying to create an artificial, adjective describing a meaningless thing. It's American people who want fiscal prudence and they want common sense approaches to what we're doing at a national level. And prior to Trump, everybody knew that Kamala and Waltz, were going to be a cultural disaster. When Kamala is saying that she wants to provide transgender surgery operations to all prisoners throughout the United States, even illegal alien invaders in our prisons, on a podcast, like that's when Americans started perking up, in my opinion, to, hey, why am I actually going to vote for this biracial woman when she wants to provide all this free transgender surgery? Like that to me was a big critical point in the failure of her campaign.
She sure did do it in California. She did.
I was just reading this article here, guys. And it shows that recent reports, currently official population projections by state agencies indicate that Texas will become the most populated state by 2050. It's actually looking by 2034. Million people in California and 44.4 million people in Texas. And it also goes on to talk about in the next 10 years that Dallas-Fort Worth is going to surpass Los Angeles. So your fucking state is hemorrhaging atoms. It is a fucking rat hole that everybody fucking hates. And they're all even. They all come to Texas. So get fucked with your fucking California nation bullshit.
Same with Manhattan. There are $15 million condos, $10 million condos, $8 million condos.
No, but no, Adams is like, this is why California's the most populated state, because they love it here. It's so amazing. Even though you guys say we're a bunch of little cucks.
No, I agree with you. Obviously, population is voting with their feet, and they're getting away from the blue states. I mean, it's just reality. We just hope that most of the people that's leaving these blue states are not coming to make their state purple. So there's a lot of
they're not.
Okay, all right. Well, let's hope not, okay? Because I see it happening in other spots, okay? It is very unfortunate because we should be able to run our independent states much more properly. And I'm also proud of what you know. I am a conservative or a big conservative. I don't go with labels. Don't care about MAGA, America first. I'm an American. I will be American. And I just don't like the way our country's currently ran because we got too much big government and I hate bureaucracy. That's it.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say about Texas is they have a tendency to get people to align really quick in the state. There's a lot of patriotism here just on the basis of the state.
The next presidential election will depend on how the midterms go. If there is a big shift in the midterms, which there are 21 seats that are up for contestation right now for Congress in the midterms. Like, am I assuming that everything falls according along party lines right now? There may be some incumbent upsets. There may be some, wacky things that go on midterm night. But I mean, if you're thinking that Republicans can just lay off the gas, it comes down to governance. Trump passed a big, beautiful bill, but nobody is talking and bragging about that on the Republican side. That's not something that's fucking really great. It's not on the top of the ticket. It's not a signature piece of legislation that has caught the optics of the conservative circles, moderate, independents. They're not necessarily happy with it. They're not dissatisfied, but they're really not happy with it. Trump holds a lot of significant weight. But again, who is the heir apparent? Who are you going to throw in there? You've got Rubio. I mean, he could probably take up the mantle, but that man flip-flopped a lot. You've got J.D. Vance, who can win. I would, if it's Newsom versus Vance, Newsom wins. You would maybe Ted Cruz throws his hat in the ring again. No, not even him. But I mean, there's no one really on the bench that you go down, and I mean, there's no one that I see that can actually pull up against the DNC machine. And let's not forget, the DNC, various PACs, are fucking funneling money all over the place. Now, the only thing that could really help Republicans is if there is an heir apparent that can take a bridge Trump to conservative, to Republican, to independents, and to more centrist Republicans. If they can bridge that, they can find that guy that can do that and somehow brings everybody in alignment, then the Republican has a shot. Because right now, the Democrats are infighting with their progressive, retarded cousins. And so you have this shit that's going on in there. But if the Democrats unite under one person, like they do so, and everybody's saying we're going to send our money that way, Newsom's going to walk away. It's going to be a tough fight. And I don't know. Someone tell me who's the next candidate that you think is going to be able to shellac the DNC machine.
Kid Rock. I'm going to keep saying, Brad, I don't know where I'm missing it. I think that the American people is going to be the next group of people that determines what's happening. And I clearly think that in 2024, it was more about the American people, not about Donald Trump. I think everybody knows that Donald Trump is, the American people got tired of everything being so expensive and all these foolish laws and people talking about getting pregnant and the LGBTQ questions and all this other stuff going on. I think the American people got just tired of it, and I don't think it's going to change that fast in the next 4 years. That's just Edward. My observation is people were sick and tired of what was happening in our administrative in Washington, D.C. And all of us know that the last 4 years of governance was horrible. Whether you're on the right or the left, we all know that. And at the end of the day, we don't want government that's foolish.
And it's like what you mentioned is like you might be right that people didn't like the last 4 years. What you mentioned, and the election, you're wrong, the election was about Trump, it was not about the American people. And what you mentioned, people not liking this administration, you act like you said American people, this and that. American people don't like what's going on right now. I don't know why you think that that's going to carry over to some Republican win somehow if things stay as they are. Say like people didn't like half price, they're still here. Like all the things you say that people didn't like still exist right now. I'm kind of confused.
Okay, hold on.
No, you were on, like that.
Kamala did not flip one county in the entire country. Not one.
Y'all get it. Like, what the fuck is wrong?
Again, I appreciate your passion, brother.
I mean, no, appreciate it. Let me finish talking, though. You talking about it at a time. I speak one time, and you cut me off.
No, I didn't cut you off.
You did cut me off. I was listening.
Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me just say this. I don't know who it was that cut him off, but this is a habit. When Hakima speaks, people do cut him off. I think that Hakima is the most oppressed person on all of Clubhouse. So I want to give Hakima his ability to get his points off. Hakima, go ahead.
They know what they're doing. They do me out, bro. I definitely appreciate it, though. I wish people would like let me finish like I let everyone else finish. I've been here for just as long as y'all, and I have spoke for all of 45 seconds. Like, damn, can I speak?
I think they might be threatened by you, Hakima. That's the only thing I can think of.
I'd say he has more of a masochistic voice. That's why I talk over.
They don't like the truth. If it's someone from my voice, that's a you problem.
You don't have no masochistic voice, Rich. You're just a fucking racist. Just like how you were calling a black woman a nigger. Just like how you were calling a black woman a nigger in the other room last night, Rich.
Okay, wait. Man, I wasn't even in a room with black ladies last night.
Okay, Roger, can I do something here? First of all, Akima, I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Okay, will you accept my apologies, sir?
Oh, hold on. Before you guys do the apologies and the kiss and makeup, I just need to be very clear. We need to be very consistent about this, okay? So, rule number 7 of this house, the N-word is forbidden on stage and in chat. I want to bring Adams back up, but I wanted to make an example. Adams is one of my favorite people on this app, and I'm going to move him to the audience for saying it, even though he was just quoting somebody else saying it. I just want the point to be clear. The other thing I want to point out too, in terms of the rules, and hopefully you guys can appreciate this one, is that there's another rule violation that happened there, which is number 9. Do not bring drama hear from other rooms. So whatever happened in the other room, don't want to police it in this room. So
I was only in here yesterday.
I listen. I don't care. We're not going to talk about that. But I'm going to bring Adams back up. We're not going to talk about that word, and we're not going to talk about drama from other rooms.